All right, guys, welcome to the video. I'm trying to make this intro quick for a lot of reasons. One is I'm getting eaten up by mosquitoes here. As you can see from the intro, covered some cool ground, some great spots, but some good flying footage. This is actually was shot over the course of 2 different weekends. Was down in a cool area, but got pushed out due to weather. Had a drone battery that I forgot to charge. Didn't realize it till I got down there, and just some issues like that. So things kind of got cut short. Didn't really get to capture it as well as I'd liked. So I've been flying every other weekend, cut my flying in half due to fuel costs. But I didn't end up going back down there the following weekend and kind of rearranging things after that because I wanted to go back and capture a little bit better. So there's a great playground down in this general area. There's some really great ridges and plateaus that are kind of big and more open to play on. Ultimately ended up in this canyon. It's a more technical spot, definitely a little tougher to get in and out. It's not bad as long as the wind's playing along, but it is wind dependent because it's 100%, one way in, one way out kind of deal, and pretty short, pretty steep. The way I look at this is I know a lot of you guys that I talk to are building airplanes or looking to buy one, working on a project. And, sometimes, I cover hangar stuff, shop stuff, building things. But most of my stuff is, of course, based more around the actual going out and flying. And so I just look at this like, hey, use this as motivation. This is the fun kind of stuff you can do with an airplane like this. And hopefully it helps motivate to, get those projects done, get your build done, or buy an airplane or work on your license, whatever it is, right? So that's my hope, is that it, kind of serves that purpose. Anyway, I'm getting eaten alive here, so let's get into it. Let's roll that footage. All right, this is a spot you guys have seen before. I'm not going to spend a lot of time showing you this. I just wanted to show you landing here. So I decided to make a downhill landing because I had the wind coming up the hill. Now, I know this spot well enough to know it's fairly smooth. I could commit to an uphill tailwind landing. Decided to land downhill anyway. More or less just a challenge. It's good practice. Try things like this. It's a lot steeper, the descent, than it looks. So full flaps and in a slip and trying to get it to slow down is actually pretty challenging. But I wanted to try it. There is a fence down at the far end, and there is some rising terrain beyond that, but it's nothing this airplane can't handle in the event that I need to go around. But we'll show you that, and then we're going to move on. kind of a cool spot. I don't know what these weeds or whatever they are. They're cool. They're purple, and this makes for kind of a neat backdrop there with the mountain in the background. Pretty area, that's for sure. Gonna stop and make some lunch and take a whiz and then move on. All right, just getting ready to fire up. The 10,000 feet. Oh, now the wind's picking back up. I was about to say I had basically no wind, and it's pretty warm out, half fuel, plenty of baggage. So, you know, and it is rising terrain out the front. Not a lot, you know, it's just a slight rise as you climb out. But I'm gonna go now while I got a little help from that wind, hopefully. It's a neat place with some cool rock formations around in the area, and pretty fun place to play. New area for me. Couldn't tell you where I am. I stopped looking a while ago. I was just following the terrain, but this is what's always fun about going out and exploring. You know, you find these new places and it's really fun. This spot here was just a little tricky because it's absolutely a one-way. There's no way you're climbing out of that once you get down on short final. It's uphill as it is, and then massive rising terrain obviously up there. Okay guys, let's stop and let's analyze this a little bit closer. This one almost wasn't really worth doing this for, but I thought there might be a couple of takeaways here that are worth talking about. And that is, excuse my drawing, I'm trying to outline that spot. It was the one-way in spot with the big rock wall formation behind it. Once you're committed down through here somewhere, there's no going around. And I wanted to talk about, because there's two ways to approach this one, and I'm going to tell you why I did it the way I did it, but why it's important to ultimately know how to do it either way. Okay, the idea is right in here somewhere is the LZ. Okay, so I want to touch down here, roll out up the hill towards the wall. The two possible methods I see, of course, are one, you can make this turn and land, because you can get down in this little valley. But you got to be real slow, and you got to make a fairly sharp turn, and you got to immediately land. Now, that's not some magically super hard thing to do, but it does require practicing that, because it's not something you typically do a whole bunch of. And when you're real low and slow, and then you throw a fairly sharp turn into the mix, I mean, I don't have to probably draw you guys a picture, but you're adding some drag. You know, you're going to lose some energy and some speed. You're going to need a little more power during the turn. And if you're not careful and you power up too hard and you come through the turn, you might be carrying more speed than you want. That's the only, that or obviously getting too slow, dropping a wing close to the ground, and something ugly could happen there. So that's the challenge of doing it that way. But it sets you up good to land because you're already close and low to the ground when you come around and you're ready to land, okay? The other method is the one I chose to do on this particular one. Bear with me here, but this is there was a ridge coming down kind of out front of this area going up the hill. So you could either turn and stay low here, or you have to come up and over this ridge. You're actually going to have to kind of dive over the corner of this ridge and then come down in and land. Okay, I chose to do that one because when I was scouting this out and making my runs downhill and looking at it, feeling the wind, checking the ground, I could see this ridge is just far enough back and not super high that I can get in and down without picking up a bunch of speed. I can come in and make that descent angle, maintain a low speed, hit my mark, and land. So I chose to come more straight in and make more of a straight in approach in that sense. Okay, none of this is really a big deal. I just thought we'd talk about it because I think it's important to know both things, and what it really comes down to is knowing the airplane. If you know your airplane and you can fly low to the ground, making turns at a low speed and maintain the right amount of energy without picking up a bunch of speed or getting too slow and stalling it, that's something, you know, it's good to know, something you should know. And then also to be able to look at a hill and decide, can I come in over that without picking up speed and still hit my mark? Okay, so these are the kinds of things that you need to know when you're doing off airport, and it's stuff that, you know, they don't teach you when you get your license or anything like that. Somebody told me not long after I got my license, whatever it's been, 10 years ago or something like that, said, congratulations, now you have your license to actually go learn how to fly. And I kind of chuckled, and I was thinking, I think I understand what that means. There's a lot more to learn, and now the door is open to go out and start experiencing things. But as the years have gone by, I really understood that. There's a ton to know that they don't teach you, of course. You know, they teach you how to fly straight and level and land on a big long runway and just do basic stuff. But if you're going to do this kind of flying, there's a lot of goofy, weird things that happen. Earlier in the video, I landed downhill. Sometimes that's necessary. Understanding how to do that, your braking is diminished. You know, do you have enough flaps and slip capability and this and that to keep your speed down, or are you going to be picking up speed? Another technique to use when you're landing downhill, if you come in and you're matching the terrain like this, going down the hill, but you're not slowing down, get your wheels right close to the ground and then raise the flaps. The airplane will drop in and settle, and at least then you can start to get some braking and drag and start slowing down, right? That's another technique. These are the kind of things that are required, in my opinion, to go out and do off-airport flying. Okay, so I do have a tailwind. Hopefully you can hear me. It's not enough to cause that trouble. You can see the grass is leaning downhill. It is downhill though. Obviously I'm not taking off uphill, but I do have some downhill, but like, yeah, as you can see, got a pretty good tailwind, unfortunately. And you know, it's high enough and warm enough that got to keep those factors in mind. Now this one's fairly open out the front. Got to make a turn, and you can kind of just make a partial turn and then up over that little hump if you're got a little altitude, which is what I'll probably do, is make a turn over the you know, the bottom edge of that. Once you get past that, it's all good. this is just a fantastic spot. The landing was super smooth and nice. I taxied down here where the rocks are to get closer to the edge. But where I landed was really nice, but this edge is just beautiful. I mean, look at that. That is awesome. That is beautiful out there. Let me swing around here. I've gone down the hard part here, which is back behind me. Made it down that steep crap. So I'm gonna go down over to this side. That's where it just looks like it's gonna be fantastic. Yeah, well, it's a lot further down here than I realize. Like in elevation. Man, that stuff is tall. Probably doesn't look like it on camera, but it is. Alright guys, we'll end that one off here. Hopefully you enjoyed that. It's a fun couple of days worth of flying, jam-packed into one video. Looked at a lot of spots, not all of them worked out, but a few of them did. It's pretty challenging, some of them pretty technical, but I think that's good to keep your claws sharp. Some pretty rewarding, beautiful spots. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this and got something out of it, or at least found it entertaining, appreciate it if you throw me a thumbs up. Leave a comment if you have time. I try to read and respond to as many of them as I can. And consider joining Patreon if you would, to help support the channel directly and keep this whole process going. Anyway, that's all for now. Next video you see probably will be from the Black Hills fly-in. Plan on filming some stuff while I'm up there. It's coming up here in a couple of days. Hopefully I'll see some of you guys up there. Anyway, take care. We'll see you on the next one.